NEWS.MC on Monaco Info is brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties. Our exclusive interview with the personalities making the Principality.
My name is Atoessa Ghavami, CEO of Luxavia. I'm Belgian. I grew up mainly in the US. I went to 27 different schools around the globe because my parents were business people that traveled a lot. So as a child, I had this advantage of learning lots of languages, learning about lots of cultures, living in different places. And then I finally landed in Monaco when I was 21, and I've been living here ever since. The first time I came to Monaco was for the Formula One in 2000. And then I came back a few years, always for the Formula One, because I was very passionate about it and I love it. Was my favorite weekend. And then after a few holidays here, I decided to move here. I studied to become an airline pilot. It was a school of 300 students and we were only 2 girls. So that was in Valencia, Spain. And I always had a love for aviation. I decided to work in aviation. My first job was working in private aviation for a Russian oligarch on his private 767. And after a few years of doing this, I saw that there was a niche market for high-end food for private jets. That was what triggered me to start my own company and to build on that. I noticed that by flying around the world, working for one of the wealthiest people in the world who didn't mind spending whatever it cost to have the top food on board, it was in most parts of the world a real challenge to find a good service, good products. And I just thought, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this for people. Because there's so many people like my then boss around the world that would love to have a fabulous solution to have top food on board their jet. And that gave me my business idea. And I even spoke to him about it. And he said, yes, please start this business. I'll be your first client. I'll be your best client. And so many others followed then. The private jet industry is a unique industry, and it's been booming for so many years, especially after COVID. People that used to fly first class, business class, now they've all converted to using private planes. And it's an industry that's booming, and a lot of people, they don't mind paying an extra surcharge just to have the best service, because people, when they fly with their family for so many hours from A to B, they don't want to pay for food, they want to pay for an experience. It's not only about getting to your destination, the journey is also important. And they want not only their taste buds to be happy, but the experience to be a happy one. And that's where my company comes in, as opposed to normal caterers at most airports around the world. As we're serving the wealthiest people in the world, they're the most demanding people. But that's where we excel. We provide a top service at all times of day. We find solutions in the most remote locations, in Asia and Africa, where it's hard to find a solution. We find them, and we do it with a smile. There is so much potential job-wise to find opportunities in the aviation industry. It's actually becoming a problem for companies to find pilots. The problem is the other way around. They can't find pilots quick enough because this industry is growing so rapidly, and getting a pilot's license takes time. So I would definitely motivate youngsters, if they're attracted to aviation, and definitely go for it. It's not only about the food. The food is the last thing. It goes on the plate, it's beautifully presented on the plate, but it's everything that happens before then which is important. So we make sure that we have top quality food. We make sure that it's transported in refrigerated vehicles so that there's no risk of food poisoning, of course. There's all these factors that are involved which are super important. Packaging is extremely important, that it's amazing, that it's beautiful, that it's safe. Also, when clients request something, our service has to be quick, because their decisions are quick, and sometimes when they decide to take off from a certain airport, it's a very last-minute decision. So we have to be very reactive. We have to make sure that we work with suppliers that are very reactive, that are safe, that we have drivers that we trust. It's not only about food, it's about logistics. It's about a high-level conciergerie, because sometimes we don't only supply food, we supply other items as well. It's about managing everything in a very perfect way, in a timely way, and in a safe way. So here in the south of France, I have my own 500 square meter kitchens next to Nice Airport. In Paris as well, at Le Bourget Airport, I have my own industrial kitchen. In Saint Martin, Saint Bart's, and in Nassau in the Bahamas as well. So there, all my chefs, they have experience in working for 5-star hotels or Michelin-starred restaurants. Other locations around the world, we make sure to work with very high-end restaurants or top chefs. A lot of requests that we receive are special because our clients are special in a good way. They set their standards very high, and very often they just send us recipes that we have to follow from other countries, things that we've never really made, from Azerbaijan, from Uzbekistan. And our chefs, they do it. The most special request ever was from a Saudi princess who was departing. There was an additional aircraft that had been chartered for her chihuahuas. So the chihuahuas were going alone on a different private jet. And we got a request for catering for the chihuahuas. We had to make a special menu for them. And I thought that was very cute. What makes us special is that we have a global reach. So there's a few companies around the world who provide similar services to private jets, but they focus on one airport or maybe two. The feedback is always good, and it shows because my clients are always returning customers, and that's proof that they're happy. Sometimes they don't always have time to say thank you, and they might not feel the need, but the fact that they order again and again and again for years and years and years shows and proves that they're happy. There's many different trends now in the food industry, especially in private aviation. I wouldn't say that there's one specific trend that everyone follows. I believe it depends on the origin of the clients. Different clients at different countries, they just always like their own cuisine. Even if they leave from Nice or from Zimbabwe, they want to feel a little bit of home on board, and they will still order a little bit of their own cuisine. But I would say when it comes to trends, obviously fusion food is very trendy, and there's a lot of requests for vegan, healthy food. People are very health conscious nowadays. Well, Monaco is always thinking about the next steps. Here, everything is so sophisticated, and so we're always moving forward, we're always expanding, and it's the same on a culinary level. There's already, for such a small place, there's already so much choice of restaurants, and fabulous restaurants, and amazing chefs. And I'm sure it's not going to stop here. I'm sure there's a lot of amazing projects coming. I decided to move to Monaco after having traveled and lived in so many countries because Monaco is simply unique in so many ways. I'm a mix of different cultures, from my father being Persian, my mother being Belgian. Growing up in so many countries, I've seen so many wonderful parts of the world. But once you get the love for Monaco, it's impossible to live anywhere else because we just have everything here, and it's so hard to find this cocktail of wonderful things in any other place on the planet. I have a 6-year-old daughter. It's super safe for her. She grows up in a very international environment. I just don't see myself living anywhere else. Monaco is an extremely unique place. There's no other place on the planet, I believe, that you can find such a wonderful cocktail of fantastic advantages. Not only speaking about the favorable tax advantage, but also the safety, the beauty, the nature. It's very close to some big hubs. It's easy access when you want to ski, when you want to travel. And Monaco itself, it's just an amazing place to live, to wake up, to take your child to school. You're always safe any time of day. It's super international. You meet very interesting people. The movers and the shakers of the world, they have a base here or they pass by here a few times a year. There's nothing that compares to Monaco.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching News.MC, your English rendezvous on Monaco Info. Discover more interviews and stories on our websites, News.MC and MonacoInfo.com. This show was brought to you by Monaco Legend Properties.